How's that for an epic intro, huh? That's right, the big game is here. CHILSON Bowl. Welcome to TDN Live Championship Matchup. I am your host, MALO VERDE. I'm going to break this championship game down. But first, couple things. One, Brandon frickin' Marshall. Are you kidding me? Record-setting day. Okay, to lead the Beaner into the championship game. Well, actually, not really. I put up 274 points, the most ever in NAFLA. I mean, I had a couple guys on that team that just went all out beastly last week to hand Trav an upsetting loss. Trav, congratulations, man. I don't think anybody thought you were going to get into the playoffs, let alone into the second round, because of drafting Kyle Orton in the second round. I told you I was never going to let you live that down, bro. But regardless, dude, you had a heck of a season, man. It was a heck of a game. You just ended up in some bad matchups going up against yours truly. Hey, it happens, okay? It happens. Second, as you see on the league page, I devised some more trophies, some record trophies. You know, teams, most points in a game, most points in a season, things like that. You know, thought it would be kind of cool to have some records so then we could kind of record our history, you know, and look back, you know, to Chris Johnson's Week 2 88-point performance, which personally I don't even know if that's going to be topped unless maybe we tweak the scoring here in the offseason, which probably will happen. There's a couple things that I want to address as far as the scoring. I want to try and get quarterbacks and kickers out of the negatives. I don't want to try and have negative points for players. So I'm going to do some things maybe to switch that up a bit, and these records may be broke next year. We don't know. But hopefully you're digging that, and if anybody has any ideas for some other records to post up there, I think currently there's 8 records. So if you have some other ideas, feel free, send me, drop a line, you know, the whole deal, and then I'll look at it and post it up there. You dig? Cool. Third, playoff MVP award was given to none other than Brandon the Beast Marshall. I mean, no one even came close in those 2 weeks of playoffs, even on teams that lost, teams that won, whatever. The only other person who was really close was Patrick Willis. He put up 39 in week 1 of the playoffs, and he put up 37 in round 2 of the playoffs. But Brandon Marshall, 81 total fantasy points, 28 grabs, 294 yards, and 3 scores. The kid was a beast, undoubted, undisputed. He's the playoff MVP. If you got a problem with that, stick it up your frickin' ass. 4. Who likes my stocking? Huh? Look at that. Right back here. See it? Nice little Santa hanging down. I'm trying to get festive. Christmas season is coming up, and you know what I want for Christmas? A damn championship! Son of a B. Let's get into this championship game, shall we? Let's look at the matchups here. I'll tell you what. Look, buddy, not looking too good for you here, my friend, according to ESPN. I only see one advantage for you, my friend, and it's Vernon Davis, the tight end. I mean, he's the number 2 tight end in all football right now, in all fantasy, so that makes sense. Vernon Davis is going up against them Philadelphia Eagles, though. Sole possession of first place right now. Beat the Giants last week. That's right. Back on top of the East, where they frickin' belong. So it's going to be a tough game for Mr. Davis. And I tell you what, all in all, I'm looking at your matchups, dude. I see a lot of tough matchups. Brandon Jacobs going up against Washington. Steve Smith going up against Washington. Yes, the G-Men have shown that over the past couple weeks they have gotten better, but so have them Washington Redskins. And I'll tell you what, that defense I think is like 3rd in the league. Washington's defense is like 3rd or 4th in the league. So it's going to be tough for Jacobs and Smith to do. I could actually see the Giants getting upset by Washington. I could see Washington playing spoiler to a couple teams here, preferably Giants and Cowboys. So it's going to be tough for them. Vincent Jackson going up against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's topping their division, looking at a playoff berth. Division title, that's going to be a close game. They came up short last week against Minnesota, but look for them maybe to bounce back, although San Diego's been playing great ball. But look for Vincent Jackson to be shut down by Leon Hall, who's having a really good year this year. Also looking down the line, I see Barrett Ruud going up against Seattle. I can see Seattle and Tampa. Both teams aren't really that good. I mean, and looking at your other matchup here with Hasselbeck going up against Tampa. And Tampa's got a pretty solid defense. So Barrett Ruud against Seattle, I think he'll put up more points probably than Matt Hasselbeck will. I'm looking at Jared Mayo, New England, going up against Buffalo. The only positive thing they really got going is this decent run game with Jackson and Lynch. So look for Mayo to put up some points there. Mario Williams going up against St. Louis. another good matchup for you. A lot of your matchups are on the defensive side of the ball, which defense wins championships, so therefore it's a good thing for you. Michael Lewis, I don't know, he might be busy back there against the Eagles. He might have a little, since he used to be a former Eagle, might have a little chip on his shoulder. You got a corner right now, Richard Marshall, who's questionable. You might want to look at that. But you got some tough matchups. It's going to be very hard for you to beat the Green Beaner, because looking at his matchups, I got Peyton Manning going up against Jacksonville. They say that the Colts may rest some of their starters, but I don't think in this game, being it's a divisional game, the Jaguars are a potential wild card team, so I think Indy shows up to play. I think their starters will play majority of the game. I mean, they might pull them if they get up big by the fourth quarter, but I think the damage will already be done for Peyton Manning tonight, Thursday, when Indy faces Jacksonville. Ricky Williams, he's going up against Tennessee. That's a tough matchup for him. And their run defense isn't exactly the greatest, so therefore, I think Ricky could have a day. Next on the list, Deshaun Action Jackson, who had a monster game against the G-Men last week, going up against San Francisco this week. They don't really have too much speed in their secondary, San Francisco. They're going to be running all over the field trying to keep up with D-Jax. I think he's going to have another monster game. Brandon Marshall, the Beast Man, Beastly Beaster, is going up against Oakland. I mean, come on. But Denver's still in the hunt. They're still in the mix for playoff contention. So therefore, I think, and it's obvious that Kyle Orton is throwing the ball to nobody but Brandon Marshall. So I don't think he's going to have that big a game, but I think it's going to be a solid performance. Greg Olsen, don't even want to talk about that. Patrick Willis and Brian Cushing leading the way the entire time. Willis is going to be all over the field running after those Eagles. I think he's going to have a great day. Cushing, been solid. I think those two, defense, my defense, looking here, Brand Flowers, his kid has come on huge in the past couple of weeks, and he's third-ranked corner in the league. They got Cleveland. Right, there's your matchup. I mean, I think at this point it's obvious who I'm picking. I mean, at this point, I think this program has become completely biased. But anyway, I am going to win. I am going to win my first ever championship in fantasy football. That's right. I've been doing this a long time, and I have never, ever won a championship in any league that I've ever participated in. This is my 8th championship game that I've been in. So I am hoping. And Luke, with my track record and how I kind of follow a certain team back here hanging that seems to get to the championship, but for some reason can't get over that hump, you may upset me as well, dude. Who knows? The Green Beaner is going to put up over 200 again for a 6th straight week, and he's going to bring home the first ever Chilson Bowl trophy, and I will be ecstatic, and I will post a video to gloat and brag and rant and rave about my greatness and my genius, and you will all have to deal with it, all right? But even or, I'll have one more video for you coming up after this game, kind of a season wrap-up kind of thing, go through, a couple highlights of the season, bring some snippets and clippets from other videos I did, try and make it something enjoyable for you, but stay tuned to the page, all right? Championship game, Mean Green, Danville Destroyers, Mean Green taking you down, boss. That's right, MALO VERDE, I'm out of here.